cause depression. Depression can cause suicide. Are you a murderer? If you are one of them, you better stop. 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 Everyone can be a victim of cyberbullying, though you are ordinary or a famous person. Because we are all active in using different social media platforms to post pictures, videos, comments, opinions, and share something about us that can be seen in public, so that we can be a bullies or a victim online. Cyberbullying is also called cyber harassment or online bullying. It has been increasingly common, especially to teenagers, as the digital sphere has expanded and technology has advanced. Based on statistics, 61% of victims was bullied online according to their physical appearance. 25% was about academic achievement. 17% was about race. 15% was about sexuality. And another 15% was about financial status. Bullies are anywhere. Victims can be male, female, elders, and an innocent baby. Sad to hear, but it's real. And yes, in social media, we have a freedom of speech, but our opinion do not give us right to be rude and to cyberbully. Cyberbullying is not a joke. Victims can manifest psychological problems such as depression, anxiety, loneliness, low self-esteem, social exclusion, school phobias, and poor academic performance. Imagine those innocent persons suffers psychological problems because of what bullies did. After hearing those serious effects of cyberbullying, can I ask a favor? Can you please stop cyberbullying to someone who are innocent according to their physical appearance, academic achievements, race, sexuality, and financial status? Let the victims free from worries and stop making their lives miserable because of your words and unnecessary actions. Just bear in your mind, words are much painful than wounds, because wounds heal in a short period of time, but hurtful words will remain on the victim's mind. So please, stop and think before you click. Be kind and stop cyberbullying.
Hey, wait! Please stay. I just need you to listen to me just for a couple of minutes. I am Johanna Fiamano, and I'm everyone's friend. The world right now is in the middle of mental health crisis. We've been facing the pandemic for more than a year now. And it is estimated that half of the population suffer from depression because they have lost something outside of their control or don't have something that is out of their control. According to the Team Soul, the most common reason for depression are loss of job, relationship breakdowns, loss of someone that you loved, comparison to other, and the pressure that we get from other people. Due to enhanced community quarantine, a lot of people lost their job and a lot of heartbreak story had happened. A lot of people lost someone they love because of the coronavirus. A lot of students involved in a new killing their own self because they are having a hard time building in a new normal setup of studying. They are asking for academic freeze. And those people who experience this problem felt that they are alone, that they are left behind because they are isolated, they feel bad about themselves. That leads them to depression and a lot of suicidal thoughts. And the saddest part of the story is that some people doesn't understand this. They think that it is just in the mind of the people who experiencing this, and they are just making fun of it. Let me tell to every one of you, depression is not A joke.
Never call someone dramatic and sensitive. You never knew how they are feeling. You'll never understand the pain that they are going through. Instead of making fun of them, let's help them out. Talk to them, entertain them, and remind them how beautiful life is.
Because everyone's mental health matters. And for those who's experiencing intense sadness and thinking of giving up, I want to remind you what the Bible says in Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Be brave, be strong, be fearless. You are never alone. You are with God all alone. In all battles of your life, you are with God. So do not compare your life or your situation with other people. We all have struggles. Even the strongest person you know, they have downfalls. So do not compare your life with them. You have your own story, and no one is better than you, and you are better than no one. For we all experience struggles in life. You'll never know happiness unless you know what is sadness. So just keep on going, trust His plans, and you'll be healed. No matter where you are in life, no matter how hard your situation is, this is not the end. This is not the final chapter of your life. Time will come and you will be thankful that this tough things happens because nothing lasts forever, not even the pain. So remember that you are enough. You are more than enough. So please do not give up. For you deserve to experience how beautiful life can be. I repeat, do not give up.
How are you? You probably don't know me, but will you give me a moment to share something with you? Today, for students like me, our biggest struggle is probably school on this pandemic we're facing. But have you ever sit down and asked yourself, how are you? Can you still hold on? The world right now is in the middle of a mental health crisis. It's estimated almost half the population suffers from depression and anxiety at some stage throughout their life, especially the students pressured all the time because of too much expectations of people who are around them, afraid of failure and making mistakes because people are quick to judge. Mental health is more than the absence of mental disorders. It is an integral part of health. Everybody has it. This is about our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects our thoughts, actions, feelings, and behaviors. As World Health Organization predicted that by 2030, mental illness will count for 13% of the total global burden of disease. We must end this thing. Mental health is priority. We all have a mental health, and it is important to each one of us. So if you are facing a challenge, you are not alone. Many people and students who have mental illness do not want to talk because of their uncertainties and insecurities. But we have to reach out them because being open can take a lot of trust and courage. Do not second guess their feelings. Reassure by telling them, you are strong enough to face this. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay if you need to see a therapist. It's okay to do what's best for you because you are important. You are needed. You are valuable. For all the students out there, please be strong. I want you to know that no matter where you are in life, no matter how bleak your situations, this is not the end. This is not the end of your story. This is not the final chapter of your life. Don't give up. You are worthy. You are more than worthy. You deserve to experience how great life can be and owe it to the world to be the positive change for others, to inspire others who look to you and say, he did it, she did it, and I can do it too. I hope that the students would learn not to choose the word full of negativities, but the word full of possibilities, because after all, it is not our situations causes problems, it is our mindsets. So stand up again. I'll wait for you.
White shirt can either be a friend or a foe. As I grew up in a family where livelihood is subjected to farming, I have realized how important every plant and tree for us.
My father raised crops during rainy season, the same as my mother who loves to plant fruit-bearing trees and root crops near the backyard. We owe every blessing received from God during coconut, banana, and jackfruit harvesting, as we are surrounded by beautiful and beneficial plants and trees. I wake up seeing greens around and breathing fine even the temperature is high. It's the purely fresh air we can't never resist to feel and inhale.
However, it is more than just the air we breathe, the money we earn, but the food we are about to eat. During this unpredictable ending of battle against the dreadful crisis of the contemporary world, the COVID-19 pandemic, being hungry not only means missing a meal, it is a debilitating crisis which more than 820 million people are now affected due to COVID-19 pandemic. When you suffer from hunger at this moment, you are missing a portion of hope in this world. As a daughter raised by a farmer, I want you to be one of us. Green Thumb Philippines, which promote planting crops that can be harvested for a short period of time and fruit-bearing trees to suppress the threat of food scarcity during this pandemic. Furthermore, it embodies the amelioration of funds for the farmers all over the nation, as well as the promotion of urban farming through the use of hydroponics.
Listen to my voice, singing in the wind. Feel my gentle touch in the golden sunlight. I was born to love. Kiss your tears away, banish all your fears. Fill the world with joy.
The whole humanity is facing severe pandemic, in which every nation is suffering and starving. Many have lives been lost. I would like to share the short testimony story that happened to a man who faced the severe test of the existence of COVID-19.
There was a young man living independently in one of the urban city of Metro Manila. He worked as a merchandiser to support his family in one of the famous supermarkets with the red apple logo. When the ECQ gets started and the animal's transportation was stopped to go out in the NCR, he missed a lot of his family in the province. Due to boredom of being quarantined for almost a month in the house, aside he no and our interest to go out. One day, he decided to walk into the river park. While walking, he noticed an old man was cooking inside. Then by the next day, he felt unwell, and by another day, he felt that he has the symptoms of COVID-19. He undergo himself to a home quarantine and report himself to the owner of his rent house and to get a swab test. While waiting the result, he take medicine and care himself for a long week of healing. The result was not good as he expected, and he cried a lot for his mistake.
Many of us still do not believe in this disease and continue to be stubborn and following the government policy for the sake of our health. Let's stop and end objecting as it for all of us. Let us not wait to fall in our loved ones because of our revolt. It's not about politicking, it's about for the common good. So let's together and help for we heal as one. I can say this because
it is only when we begin that endings could happen. I am here to talk about poverty, in which a lot of us do experience. In accordance with the definition in Oxford Dictionary, poverty is the state of being extremely poor, and as of the present, it remains as a challenge for all of us. I also belong to a poor family, but then, poverty never becomes a hindrance for me in order to succeed in life. There are a lot of reasons on why do we experience poverty. It is mainly because of the high rate of unemployment and then the failure to protect our agricultural sector. With the high rate of unemployment, many were not able to finish their studies, and as a result, they couldn't afford to get a decent or well-paying jobs. With regards to our agricultural sector, I believe that farming is the main important here in our country, most especially that rice is our basic needs. As Filipinos, we need to eat rice 3 times a day. Just like I've said a while ago, I'm also a poor person, but then it's not the level that I experience poverty. I just want to say that though you are poor, we can be a big help to stop poverty, because in this life, we must know that nothing is hard. Nothing was really hard. It is just that things were not given easy. So no matter how hard life is, we must keep going. We must never give up, because this thing was given. God given us this thing. God give this problem. This thing exists because there's a way out of this. So as one, we can move. As one, we can go.
Education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the person who prepared it today. By Malcolm X. Did you know that education is one of the most important part in our life? It empowers our mind that will be able to conceive good thoughts and ideas. It guides us to fight with failure and get succeed in life. Creativity and little different approach to education is the only thing that can remove corruptions, unemployment, and even an environmental problem. Education is not about doing a degree, but it is about how you can live with your own feet and solve daily life challenges. But in today's world, which we are facing to a pandemic, the right for quality and accessible learning is further being challenged. As a student, I can say that learning today is far from what we are expected. Learning from home is a kind of weary, but learning should never stop. Chasing to our dreams should never stop. We can still work for our future at the corners of our home. As the crisis worsens, we must strengthen our faith. And in any way, education must be continued. No matter what challenges that we are facing right now, with this new normal, Don't let this situation strip away our right for education. Always remember that having a good education makes an individual develop personally, socially, as well as economically. It makes a person well informed to her rights and her responsibilities. Having a good education teaches a person the right of living life to the fullest. That's why education has to be accessible to all. Thanks to the modern technologies and internet innovators, because despite of this pandemic, we can still continue to learn in our lessons. Due to them, even our learning ways is not the same as before because of the pandemic. Still, there's a way for us to learn. And for the student who choose to stop studying, I encourage you all to continue attending your class. Don't waste time. Just show to the world that despite of this pandemic or despite of all issues that we have, no one can stop you to learn, to educate yourself, and to chasing your dreams. Always remember the Philippians 4:13. It says that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. It means that no matter what happened, no matter what challenges that we are facing today, we can surpass it by His name. Just continue and never give up, because education is the key for you to be successful someday. Just fight. God bless.
Philippines, poverty today. We all do know that humans have the right to have basic necessities in order to survive on a daily basis. But how would that be possible if we, are experiencing so much poverty as of today? According to National Economic Development Authority, the country's poverty is projected to average between 15.5% and 17.5% in 2021. Which was also supported with a survey conducted by World Bank. Poverty affects a lot of things in people's lives. Children gradually become aware that some people have more material wealth than others. But it is important to emphasize that the world is not divided into givers and receivers. Rather, all of us has something to give, and all of us needs our help too. What I can see is lack of cooperation with each other, a fact thing that causes poverty. I'm encouraging everyone to unite to fight poverty, from rulers to followers, from the governance into the people who's following it, from the officials to the simplest kind of Filipino people. Have courage and be kind to everybody. Another is to have proper education for our children. Teach our children to be responsible and to face the reality that Earth might be colorful but challenging. Next is support our farmers. Good food for good health. Good health can avoid sickness, and our farmers will be the one to generate that good food that we need. And lastly, discipline to ourselves. Let us appreciate blessings from our God Almighty. Even small or big, be thankful. We can do this together. Open your mind as wider as you can. Let's be brave enough to fight for life in our own way. But don't be selfish as we do need help, and others needs our help too. Unite as one. Work as one. Fight as one. With this, we might not lessen, but totally end poverty in our country.
Many of us said that pets brings joy in our life. They mean so much for us. But how about the stray animals? Stray cats are not a random occurrence, but a symptom of a bigger problem caused by an irresponsible pet ownership. The typical stray in the Philippines are domesticated animals, once family pets, thrown out into the streets when the owner can no longer afford to feed them, or when they got sick and their owner doesn't want to deal with making them better. But do you think that is an acceptable reason? No. Not because they are not fit in our society's standard, we have the rights to ignore them. Remember that we are being assigned by our Creator to take care of them no matter what they look like. Do you know that 12 million stray cats and dogs roamed the nation in 2019? And it was according to the Philippine Animal Welfare Society. And each year, many thousands of the animals are euthanized, impounded, or die of disease, hunger, or wounds resulting from fighting. In this time of pandemic, people cannot go out, and it means that it lessens the possibility that stray cats can find a food to survive. I know that many people are starving in this situation, but we should consider them too. I was touched by the article that I read on the internet, which they help a stray cats and dogs during pandemic, which they prepare animal food and venture out to drop off meals for more or less 30 cats and dogs in Poblacion, Pulilan to Claribel Highway in Bulacan. Let those kinds of people be our inspiration to help the stray cats. So please, don't ignore them. The homeless animals, they need our help. They are begging for shelter. Please, have a sympathy for them. We should be responsible for them, even though they have no material things that they can give to us. But the most important is the joy and love they return for us. And that is the best thing we could get in this world.
Poverty is not made by God. It's created by you and me when we don't share what we have. By Mother Teresa. Poverty is spread all over the world. There's a lot of people suffering from poverty. Poverty is one of the biggest problems in our society. And it's needs a solution by everybody, especially to our government. Because if no one tries to fix this problem, and then it will get worse as time goes on, and it will greatly affect the next generation. Poverty is a deadly issue that kills our population slowly, our education, our future, neither our country. Poverty started because of corruption, when rich people become rich and poor people become poor. It's hard to accept the fact that those born babies, those innocent children, are the ones who are really affected too much, like in Tondo, Manila. If you can see those innocent children working hard on the street to feed their starving stomach, at their young age, they learn to work hard to provide their needs. They miss out every moment of their life. No play, no education, no progress. How can we solve poverty if there's no unity? How can we solve poverty if our government is pure corruption? And how can we solve poverty if some people are unwilling to give or to share what they have? As a student, as a neighbor, as an individual who experienced poverty, the lesson that I learned in this journey is to continue to dream and continue to pray. Be optimistic. Remove all the negativity in your minds. Work hard for your goal and don't let the poverty kill our future. Poverty will not become our hindrance. Otherwise, it will serve as our motivation to success. You will work hard. Nothing is impossible. Pray. One word but can do a big miracle. One word that can destroy poverty. If all of us have faith and we are determined to work hard, and if our government has a good objective, no one is poor, no one is begging for help, and every one of us has a good life and a good future. My co-students from CSTC or from any school, let me remind you, Our education is the most important thing to us for us to become successful. I know every one of us suffered because of this in our life. We cannot change the past, but we can change our future. Let's dream high and let those dreams come true. After all, success will come on your way at the most unexpected time. This is Vivian Magdival. Thank you and have a good day.
Mental health. The stress, anxiety, and depression. Everybody has the blues, feels anxious, loses interest in enjoyable activities, or gets stressed sometimes, but when it continues for a long time or interferes with daily activities, it may be more serious. Stress is the body's response to any demand or pressure. These demands are called stressors. When the stressors in your life are constant, it can take a toll in your mental and physical health. Anxiety is a normal reaction to stress. It helps you deal with the tense situations, study harder for an exam, or keep focus on an important speech. However, if you cannot shake unwarranted worries, or if the feelings are jarring to the point of avoiding everyday activities, you may have an anxiety disorder. Teen depression. Being a teenager can be tough. There are changes taking place in your body and brain that can affect how you learn, think, and behave. And if you are facing tough or stressful situations, it is normal to have emotional ups and downs. But if you have been overwhelmingly sad for a long time, a few weeks to months, and you're not able to concentrate or do the things you usually enjoy, you may want to talk to a trusted people about depression. Depression is very different from the occasional blues. About 18.8 million people experience depressive disorders that affect how they sleep, eat, feel about themselves, and live with their lives. Depression can run in families, and it usually starts between the ages. Young ones, it starts with 15. Depression has physical and emotional symptoms, and it cannot be wished away. People with depression can't just pull themselves together. There are different types of depressive disorders, each with its own symptoms and treatment options. The good news is that depression can be treated and people can recover. But what does depression feel like? It feels like living a body that fights to survive and with a mind that tries to die. Mental health matters. Please spread awareness.
Anyone who has struggled with poverty knows how extremely expensive it is to be poor. A state or a condition in which a community or a certain person lacks from financial resources and essential for a minimum standard of living is what poverty means. The income level from employment is so low to the point that basic human needs can't be met. Life is so cruel, isn't it? Unemployment, lack of infrastructure, rising prices of commodities, increased rate of population, poor quality of education are just some causes why poverty is striking people.
The Philippines has a fairly high poverty rate with more than 16% of the population living below the poverty line. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte aims to reduce the rate of poverty to 14% by 2022. Through its strategy, Ambition 2040, the Philippine government plans to eradicate extreme poverty by 2040. While the cases of poverty here in the Philippines are continuously increasing, the government are offering some programs regarding this issue. Greater access to education. They said that people gain basic skills and increase job opportunities through education. Greater access to healthcare. We all know that here in the Philippines, healthcare is not completely free. But through the help of this, those in poverty will have more access to health services, low cost of medicine, and hospital bills. The family aid. The 4Ps is one of its best example. The program gives the household grants so long as they met certain requirements, including keeping the children in school, having regular health checkups, and having parents or guardians attend family development sessions. Therefore, the program reaches about 20% of the population with the goal of greater poverty reduction. I believe that food is our basic human need. It is essential part of our life to maintain a good health and a good body. As a responsible advocate, I am speaking here not only to give my own opinion regarding this matter, but also to open the eyes of the government and my fellow Filipinos. I am not attacking or questioning any actions of the government. I just want to raise awareness and take actions regarding this matter because poverty is not a joke. Together, let's stand up, take action, and end poverty now. Every one of us can make a change. I am Crisel Evangelista, your poverty advocate.
Have you ever experienced that someone scares of you because of your appearance? Yes, I am questioning you. Have you experienced that? To the point that some would call a cop and accusing you that you are a thief because you had the dark skin? I really don't know, because I am not white or black either. I am in fair skin. But why on earth I am doing this? Maybe because it is my activity or requirements in school? You never know. I am doing this not because of my requirements. I am doing this because I really feel it, and I mean it. I feel the tears of every black children not allowed to play at the park built by white people, bullied by other kids because of their skin. It hurt watching a news that some Asian people harmed by white because they think it is a carrier of coronavirus. It is the softest thing I have did. Being black is not a crime. And being Asian is not a crime either. But why someone chose to be racist? Why someone think that white is a reflection of good and black is for bad? Why? I am not mad at white people. I am mad to those people who hurts other people. I am mad to those people who disrespect other people, judge other people, degrade other people, disrespect the culture of other people. We are all just a human. We need to accept each other like they accept us being a human. Being good is not hard. Being bad is not hard either. But please, choose to be good. Let's spread the love to the world, not to be racist. I am Ashnaral Sotomayor, and I am not a racist. Thank you.
Please, know your limitations so you don't have any regrets in the future.
As reported in CNN 2021, teenage pregnancies in the Philippines up by 7%. As mentioned in the Commission on Population and Development POPCOM 2020, every week about 20 to 50 Filipino children aged 10 to 14 give birth. In conformity with Juan Antonio Perez 2020, in the Philippines, 500 teenagers give birth every day due to teenage pregnancy. According to United Nations Population Fund or UNFPA 2016, teenage pregnancy has been decreasing in the Asia-Pacific region except in the Philippines. In line with Social Weather Station or SWS 2020, according to a survey, Filipinos believe that teenage pregnancy is the most important issue facing women today in the country. Teenage pregnancy is one of the biggest problems in our country, which is the Philippines. In today's generation, where most of the teenagers think that sex is just a simple action that they can do whatever and whenever they want. Most of my batchmates in junior high school are facing this kind of problem, and as I can see it wasn't easy for them. At the age of 17, Mrs. Ramirez gives birth to her first child, and at the age of 19, she gives birth to her second child. The reason why there are many teenage pregnancies in the Philippines are the media, especially the social media, financial problems, influence of peers, broken family, rebellious child, environment, and lastly, the lack of knowledge about sex education. They are not fully aware of the circumstances that they will be facing when their action resulted in pregnancy. The consequences are the first, the judgment, depression, postpartum, and the lack of knowledge and how to handle or treat right the newborn baby. We can prevent the continuous increase of numbers of teenage pregnancy by simply giving them the right guidance and authority and by giving them the accurate knowledge about sex education, reproductive health, and life planning to achieve their goals. We girls should remain pure and give all of us in the right time and with the right person, with the blessed of the holy sacrament of marriage, to avoid early pregnancy or teenage pregnancy. If your partner is what God has set for you, he can wait at the right time and at the right place. Stop unexpected pregnancy. Stop premarital sex. Thank you so much.